Secondly, I also have a sarkari responsibility. When I say sarkari responsibility is to spread the message. I assist BRICS, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, as a chamber of commerce, where we try and rally youth in different pockets. So I assist a lot of startups, from financial to other kinds of advisory. So we connect people. So a part of what bank is doing, I'm already doing that. But I've been impaneled with the Niti Aayog. So I represent India at United Nations. So that's a little bit about what I do over and above my bread and butter. But you know, when he and I were talking, Jaspreet and I were talking, he said that, what do you want to talk about? He said that at this point of time, if what something which people want to know and people should hear is the psychology of relationships. And you know, one of the primary reasons why we should be all talking about it is COVID. If apart from our cholesterol levels and stress levels and hypertension, anything has been tested in the last 2 years, it has been relationships. Relationships which belong to business, which belong to professional arenas, and most importantly, relationships in the personal lives of people. That has been tested to a very large extent, and sometimes beyond imagination, sometimes so much of stress that sometimes they were this close to breaking up. And I'm talking about professional and personal. Just to quote a few contexts, I got some 17 SOS calls where people either were trying to fight domestic violence, sexual harassment, and sometimes they were on the verge of suicidal ideation. So we don't realize, maybe because it's not happened to us, but we've come from a very low lying field of emotions. We've grieved. The feeling has been languishing. The emotion has been sadness, and it has impacted, has taken a toll on both aspects of professional and personal relationships. So if there is anything which requires revival, which requires reimagination, it requires all the foreign direct investment to flow. All the foreign direct investment needs to flow into relationships, not into the stock markets. Hence, each individual in their own space, in their own life, needs to think of what is the current relationship health. In the last few months to few years, if you've been dating, you've been married, or you've been living with parents, or you've been a single entrepreneur, you've been a promoter of a business, it doesn't matter who you were, but all of us have seen the relationships going through a test of time, test of character, test of faith. Some have survived, some haven't. Hence, I'm the messiah and the messenger of whosoever you might want to consider, but I'm here to tell you that if there is anything you need to preserve, is the word called relationships. Some people tell me that, Ankit, is relationships overrated, just like talent? And I get this question a lot. You know, I did psychology as, I don't say I did psychology as a qualification. I'd like to say that psychology was my religion, and it still is my religion. You know, when you fall in love with something, you really want to go deeper and immerse yourself into it. So I did that for the last few, I don't remember the last time I wasn't thinking about psychology. I just don't remember. So I studied psychology from a lot of varied aspects, neuroscience and spirituality and applied behavior human sources and so on and so forth. So one of the things I get often in my therapy sessions and when we coach people is that, you know, relationships is overrated. And if your IQ levels are over 120, 125, then I'm telling you, you run that risk where आप लोगों को समझ में नहीं आएगा sometimes that यार इतना complex abstract क्यों है relationship? Why is it so difficult to maintain a relationship? Why just can't be simple like an Excel sheet? It's like a formula. We look up यहाँ से 4 लाइनें उठाओ वहाँ पे डाल दो and life should be simple. But why is it difficult to manage expectations, understand emotions, understand your emotions, then translate all of that into a communication which hopefully makes sense to somebody else? And in spite of doing all of that, there is no guarantee that it walks straight. Now, if you're a parent, you still have the same problem. If you're a husband, you have the same problem. You're a wife, you have the same problem. If you're a business owner, you have the same problem. So I tell people that, listen, if you've ever been to school, which I'm hoping that all of us have been to, and it doesn't matter what's your age, you might be 40, 45, 50, 55, it doesn't matter. Everyone remembers the bully. Sabko bully yaad rehte hain. Nobody remembers, you know, at once you might forget those good people, good friends, but till date, if I ask you that do you remember bullies, I'm telling you, you remember bullies. That's the impact of bad relationships on the memory of the human brain. So take a pause and relax and sit back and think what I'm trying to say. Good relationships, you might forget once in a while, but bad relationships, they haunt you like a ghost. So if you've been bullied, and I have been bullied, so much so that I turned into a bully, and then I realized that I've been bullied. When I was bullied in 7th, I remember. When I was bullied in 9th, I remember. When I was bullied in 11th, I remember. And then 11th onwards, I became the ghost in somebody else's memory because I turned myself into a bully. That's the living fact. Let me give you another living fact about relationships. They hit a part of the brain which stores our emotional memories. And the part of the brain is called amygdala. Now, most people will think that it's like a science or an anatomy, but मैं इसको simple तरीके से बताता हूँ. अगर आप लोगों ने क्रांतिवीर देखी है, और अगर नहीं देखी है, तो आज इस talk के बाद you go and see क्रांतिवीर, because I jokingly tell people that if you haven't seen क्रांतिवीर, your voting right should be taken. So you go see क्रांतिवीर. उसमें नाना पाटेकर को ना परेश रावल यहाँ पे मारता है. नाना पाटेकर से यहाँ नहीं मारते, यहाँ छोटा दिमाग होता है. That छोटा दिमाग is like a summary of the memory which you store of all good and bad things which has happened to you. So for example, if I say, do you remember what happened on 9/11? Of course, you remember what happened 9/11. If I say what happened 26/11, of course, you remember 26/11. And that's the deal with relationships. Bad relationships, they stay with you for the rest of your life. They haunt you, they become the part of the ghost which you carry. Okay. That's the importance of a bad relationship. And that's the best case which one needs to understand, that this is the reason one needs to invest in relationships, because if you don't, then they will haunt you for the rest of your life. Now, I'm going to try and share a few mistakes which people make. I'm going to try and talk about how can we make ourselves better. Now, try and see this from a personal point of view, and then try and see this from a professional point of view. First, I'll try and talk about personal relationships. A relationship is like a mobile battery charge. It drains out. कोई permanent charge पे mobile phone काम नहीं करता है. You can't have a mobile phone running on 100% battery. A relationship is like that. You draw something from the relationship, you debit something from the relationship, the battery goes down, and then the relationship needs a recharge. It needs to be pulled into the socket. Now, my question to all of you is that हम सब अपने रिश्तों में से, relationships में से, whether it is husband, wife, parenting, whatsoever, we try and do these debits every day. But are you recharging them? Are you rejuvenating the relationship? And I'm not very happy breaking the news. As per a global research, Indians are not very good with recharging, words rejuvenating, words sabbatical. इसका मतलब ये भी होता है कि if a relationship is an employee, then does the employee ever take a leave? Employee ever takes a leave? मेरे रिश्ते आज छुट्टी पे हैं, which means that we are nurturing the relationship. I've taken my relationship for a holiday. No, we never think like that. You're running the routine on daily basis, which means that two people like robots would get up every day, do something for each other. You will have roles and responsibilities defined. You will manage shit and live shit together. And you don't realize that after 3 months, you've exhausted. And then when the fights, conflicts, issues start to happen, because mobile phone ki battery discharge ho chuki hai, and you don't realize that you haven't invested in the relationship. So the number one question mental health or mental well-being or COVID has asked us is that आप withdraw कर सकते हैं उस bank balance में से, but आप credit तो कीजिए. Now you might ask me कि अंकित credit कैसा दिखता है? Now let me explain. Credit is not like a 10 lakh world holiday. No. For me, and let me tell you that the most amount of biochemistry reaction which you get from the body is जब आप साथ पीट के चाय पीते हैं. Is दिन के अंत में जब आप बैठ के दिन में क्या हुआ बात करते हैं. Is when two people go out, pursue what they love to do, they come back, discuss life, and life happens there. That is the investment which a relationship demands. Now, some people I know will tell me that, yaar, ye sab thodi ho pata hai, the lives are too fast. So, fair, mat karo. So wait for 3 months and 4 months and see the battery going down. then, you know, when life, like a mobile phone, life will start give you a red blinker that ये खतरे की घंटी बढ़ रही है. After 3 months, जब irritation बढ़ने लगे, frustration बढ़ने लगे, patience level अचानक से कम होने लगे, छोटी-छोटी बातों पे चिढ़ मचने लगे, वो symptom है life का that boss relationship requires a recharge, it requires investment. However, now, if I ask you that when was the last time you invested in a relationship, and this is purely personal, we get to the professional part, the answers might not be very encouraging, the answers might not be very motivating. Why is the investment difficult? Because there are toxicities, because there are bumpers, because there are speed breakers. People don't get to invest in the relationship because they live in a box of a relationship. ये रिश्ता ऐसा ही है, ये टॉक्सिक ही रहेगा, इसके साथ कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Sometimes it could be the marriage, sometimes it could be parents, sometimes it could be siblings. But the fact of the matter is that you've decided the fate and future of a relationship yourself. Now, I do a lot of therapies for toxic relationship, and I'll come to that towards the end because that's not a space you need to be in. But you know, if somebody asks me that how do I measure a relationship, this is what I tell them. You know, like physics, relationships needs to be measured in terms of weight, in terms of temperature, in terms of feeling. Now, be with me. You keep any person in mind who's close to you or who has been close to you, but you don't have a very good relationship. And you keep a person in mind, you have a very good relationship. The first litmus test of a relationship is the relationship heavy or light in weight? Is this like a patta or a patthar? And that's the philosophical litmus test I offer. If it's like a patthar, then you've been carrying the baggage of the relationship. If it feels light, then you've invested in the relationship. Low maintenance in relationship is extremely important. And the more you invest in the relationship in short term, in the long term, they become a low maintenance relationship. Maruti 800 or BMW comparison is actually fantastic. I don't want a relationship which is like a BMW. Glamorous, looks outside, people look at me, people look at my spouse, beloved, but it's super high maintenance. Ek scratch bhi lagta hai to dil ko dhakka lagta hai. I don't want a relationship like that. It's a high maintenance. Relationships needs to be like Maruti 800. कोई भी बैठ सकता है, most welcome, humble, grounded. किसी भी मैकेनिक के पास चले जाओ वो ठीक हो सकती है. It has to be that low maintenance. The point I'm trying to make is that sometimes you live through relationships from the eyes of the other people, and the eyes of society are the horrid eyes we live through. So you have to figure out that the current weight of the relationship, is it too heavy or too light? That's the first litmus test. The second litmus test is of temperature. I say that you divide relationships into, you know, and it's also a sales strategy in some organizations, but it's also a personal strategy. That is the relationship warm or is it cold? You know, when I was young, my father used to jokingly tell me that देखो कुछ direction से ठंडी हवाएं आती हैं, and that kind of validated by psychology. He said that all the relationships which we have can be categorized into warm or cold. Either they give you warmth or they give you cold vibes. And if you are constantly surrounded by friends, siblings, people who give you cold vibes, you have a problem. And some of these are also business partners, some of these are also professional acquaintances. But the point is that at some point of time, you'll have to take a call and see that why am I surrounded by cold relationships? And how can I convert some cold relationships into warm relationships? Okay, so there is weight, which is it as halka as a patta or is it as heavy as a patthar? And then there is temperature of a relationship. It is warm or is it cold? And the final is feeling. And that's the most ignored part of a relationship. You know, if you've ever been young, and while that's a rhetorical question, we've all been young, but the second question is a more difficult one. If you've ever dated people, percentage probability is that you all have dated people. But the third question's probability is lesser. If you've all dated more than one people, not at the same point of time, you will relate to what I'm saying. Every person who you indulge with or every individual in the relationship brings out a different person in you. It's true for friendship also. Sometimes there is a friend जिसके लिए आप मसीहा हैं, sometimes there is a friend जिसके लिए आप villain हैं, sometimes some friends would look at you the miser and hence आपके अंदर का कंजूस बाहर आता है. Every relationship brings out a very unique personality from you. And most people don't realize that यार इसके साथ मैं अलग हूँ, इसके साथ मैं अलग हूँ. Like you're a different brother, you're a different with sister, you're different with your kid, and similarly with friends. If you have 5 friends and if you have 5 business partners, you're different with all those 5 different partners. Have you realized why that happens? Because psychologically, different people bring out the different person in you. Hence, every individual treats you a certain way because of which a different person comes out. You know, like a large part of the work which I've done is in the space of executive presence and leadership coaching. And we realize that people, you know, typically who are aggressive, dominating, talk loudly, they trigger the bully out. And कुछ लोगों का दिल की धड़कन बढ़ जाती है उनसे बात करते हुए. They can't approach these people, they can't present in front of these people, and they say that मुझे लगता है कि ये ना dominate करता है. And hence their domination triggers out the chicken in you. You know, I just use the chicken as a colloquial word. बस आपको डर लगना शुरू होता है क्योंकि आपको समझ में आता है कि ये बुली है जो मुझे स्कूल में मिला था और स्कूल का डर आज भी जिंदा है. Sometimes you see the relationships are predefined like destiny. We don't get to challenge them. While some people you feel very comfortable, you feel very warm, we might feel that that person and I have this kind of a relationship. But let me break it to you. The first relationship you have with people is, the first relationship actually you have with anyone is a relationship which you have with you. Most people, at least in the Indian context, they don't understand that before you invest in any relationship externally, the first responsibility of having a great relationship is with your own self. You know, my half of my life is, I'm touching 40, and the last 20 years I've been systematically investing in helping people work with stress disorders, anxiety, depression, paranoia. I've had I won't say the luxury of working with the Harjay. We did a concentration camp, which is called a concentration camp, but a therapy camp with some rehabilitation people there, and they were criminals. And one of the things we noticed that देखो इंसान की बैंड बजने से पहले ना एक वार्निंग साइन आता है, उसके खुद से रिश्ता खराब हो जाता है. Call it self-love, self-acceptance, self-worth, self-esteem, it doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is that the moment आपका खुद से रिश्ता खराब हुआ, your is like Vinashkale Viprit Buddhi, or whatever you might want to call it as. But the fact of the matter is that you might invest in a relationship which is external, which is outside, but it doesn't help if you have a toxic relationship with your own self. If your self-worth and self-esteem, if your own mental patterns are standing against you, then you are getting sucked by energies outside. You're getting sucked by relationship outside. So if somebody starts and tells me that, Ankit, what is the most important relationship? I say that you've ignored the first and the most important relationship. That relationship is the relationship which you have with your own self. So एक second के लिए, sometimes you have to ask that if I am a person and I have a relationship with myself, what is that kind of a relationship? क्या मुझे खुद पे भरोसा है? Do I have respect? Is there self-doubt? Are there insecurities? Do I hate myself? Do I like myself? Am I obsessed with myself? And some of the answers you will get might be very mixed. Over a course of time, over a period of time, people have to start investing in the relationship which they have with themselves. And that piece is extremely important. You know, if you go out there and you pick people who you really trust, you'll realize that the people you trust is not because they offer you something. You'll realize that they're very self-assured. उनके मन में डर नहीं है, insecurity नहीं है, doubt नहीं है. They are givers. They believe in giving. They're unconditional to a point where sometimes you actually doubt them. यार ये इतना साफ क्यों है? इतना transparent क्यों है? इतना नेक इंसान क्यों है? The reason that happens is because some people are very relaxed in their own skin. Some people are exceptionally comfortable in their own skin. A large part of a battle of life, and mark my words, is going to be becoming comfortable in your own skin. And we don't do a great job out of that. You know, if you look at your surroundings, you might be an entrepreneur, it's a role you play. You're not You were not born as an entrepreneur. It's a role you play. You're a husband, it's a role you play. It's a son, you're a role you play. Daughter, you're a role you play. You're a parent, you're a role you play. It's not your identity. It is a sticker on your identity. Okay? हर उस रोल को प्ले करने के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट आपसे जाती है. So you call yourself as the angel investor or the seed capital. You are the seed capital जिसमें से आप कुछ कुछ पोर्शन निकाल के इन relationships and roles में डालते हैं. Now imagine if you are bankrupt and you have to play all of these roles. Imagine that आपके पास देने के लिए कुछ नहीं. You're a hollow individual from a relationship which you have with your own self point of view. And what happens? Toxicity in relationships. Relationship seems to like become a burden. You want to run away from responsibilities. You want to run away from ownership and problems and solving issues. Why? Because as an individual, I have nothing to offer. And it's not monetary wealth, it's emotional wealth. Emotional bank balances, if there are one, are more important sometimes than financial bank balances. And every individual at this point of time needs to understand that how emotionally fulfilled, emotionally stable am I, because that defines the relationship which you have with your own self. The relationship with self is the number one reason why people will trust you or not. You know, you walk into a meeting, and we now start slowly migrate to business areas. You walk into a meeting and the person disagrees with you. And the person also sees that आपके चेहरे पे डिफेंसिवनेस है, आप एक कदम पीछे लेते हैं, जबान में एक हेजिटेशन आती है, थोड़ी आवाज बढ़ जाती है, and suddenly आप aggressive हो जाते हैं. In 30 seconds, it took me 30 seconds to ask you one question, one disagreement, and one disconnect. And your character has been exposed, which means that the person is not open to disagreements. Your demons and your insecurities step out and you become aggressive. Why? Because aggression is the new domination. You know, it's like जब मैं हारने लगता हूं तो मैं मारने लगता हूं. And most people don't even realize that ये आपके साथ हो रहा है. Why? Because your relationship with your own self is very insecure. You didn't trust your own viewpoint. You didn't trust your own opinion. That's one part of it. The other part of it is that, you know, I used to have a friend who was, I can't name the person, but he's a case study in my life because he had some 40 relationship with 40 different people. 40. One fine day we sat together. मैंने उसको बोला तो नाम लिख. 25 साल से लेकर 35 साल तक तो जिस इंसान के साथ रहा है तो नाम लिख के मुझे बता. What is the problem? Why can't you settle in a relationship? What is your issue with commitment? Why can't you belong to a relationship? So he said that I've been with some 40 different people. I'm on a lookout for somebody जिसमें मैं भरोसा कर सकूं. It took me 3 months to figure out a problem. You know, problem was he didn't trust himself. And the unfortunate part is that your own trust issues lead to you seeing trust issues everywhere. So भी अगर आपने, you know, it's like that funny thing. स्कूल में अगर हम किसी की बुराई करते हैं ना, और वो कल कहीं किसी के साथ कोने में खड़े होकर बात कर रहा है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपको ये मेरे बारे में बात कर रहा है, ये मेरे बारे में बात कर रहा है, you know, इसके दिमाग में जो चल रहा है ना, it's I don't want to call it cheap, but it's very cancerous in nature. Because the moment you do shitty stuff in life, you start thinking that the world is planning the same shitty stuff against you. Psychologically, it's called displacement. It's called projection, where you project your insecurities and your egos in the other person. And that happens when people date outside marriage. You say, aapko lagta hai the wife's talking to someone, husband's talking to someone, then people start to feel, oh, somebody's having an affair. Because in the first place, you might be having your own issues. So I want to stop here and tell you that when you approach businesses, when you try and expand businesses, and each business is a system of relationship. If you are in analytics, if you're a lawyer, if you're a professional, if you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter what you do. You're in a business of relationships. You get up every day and you realize, and you do a sample check analysis karke dekhna, that 70% of your stress in relationship comes, 70% of your stress in life comes from relationship. You might have a financial stress, but financial stress, you know, when I was young and I didn't have a lot of money, I had expectation issues, I had financial issues, but financial issues zyada tha that the relationship with my father was strained because I wasn't doing well in my career. Stress and relationship issues give you more depression and more anxiety than any other matter of concern. You might also feel and you might also think that a family going through financial process, but great social support, relationships are warm, relationships are light, and the family goes through the financial issues. The investment in relationship with your own self, the investment in relationship with people and around yourself is so important that sometimes that's the only thing which sustains each of our businesses. It doesn't matter you're selling a product, it doesn't matter you're selling furnishing, it doesn't matter you're in hospitality, healthcare. I'm telling you that people don't remember products, people remember experiences, and experiences are built upon conversations, and conversations have relationships at a soul. You remember that conversation when people tugged you. You remember that conversation, you got an aha effect because people came together to create an experience. So it doesn't remember. If I sell you BMW, but your selling experience is horrible, you will remember BMW to be horrible. You go take a holiday, you spend a fortune on a holiday, but the entire experience of being served is not there. You still have a problem. You can consider ICICs of the world, HDFCs of the world, and American Express of the world. If they're able to create a niche, American Express has been able to create niches because of relationships. The human mind and the human anatomy and the human memory has the strongest data cable, or sorry, not the data cable, has the strongest hard drive to store experiences. So sometimes we check with people that, do you remember your first night or first salary message of paycheck? So some people do, some people don't. But do you remember how did your father, your mother looked at you when you stood first in your class? Of course, I remember. Because that's the relationship, because that's the human element which people remember. So when you go out there and you're pitching, you're raising funds, and I do a lot of this with people, I ask with them that, what is your relationship with your own idea? How convinced, how committed are you with the idea? Second, what is the relationship you are having with your own self when it comes to this idea? If they say that, listen, I don't think I can raise so much funds, or I don't think I can pitch this idea because मेरा खुद में भरोसा थोड़ा सा कमजोर है, hence I want a partner to do this, there is a problem. There is a serious problem. Your own relationship with your own self is so important that unknowingly it ends up defining relationships with people, surroundings, even a presentation. You make a presentation and you realize you can't deliver it because you never thought about the fact that the content of the presentation, you don't buy it. And that's the relationship with which you have with your own intellect, your own awareness. Now, while it's relatively easier said than done, the last part is that most people are surrounded by toxicity and toxic relationships, and India as a community doesn't talk much about that. हम लोग नहीं बात करते हैं. And there is toxic relationship in business environment. There is toxic relationship also in personal environment. Any kind of abuse is toxicity. Any kind of misuses, exploitation is toxicity. Any kind of manipulation, emotional victimization is toxicity. In the business environment, any kind of ethicality issue is toxicity. Information hoarding is toxicity. Any kind of usage of information which they know about you or have a leverage on you against somebody is toxicity. As a society and as an individual, you must take a stand and say that stop that abuse. The darker side of relationship also is it's a parasite. वो धीरे धीरे आपको खा सकता है, और toxic और abusive relationship आपको धीरे धीरे ही खाता है. आज हाथ उठाए कल नहीं उठेगा, इस उम्मीद में आप 4 दिन और रहते हैं. आज पैसा डिले किया है कल नहीं करेगा, इस उम्मीद में आप 4 दिन और बैठे. Verbal abuse होता है, आपको लगता है कि ठीक है आज हुआ है शायद नहीं करेगा. Sometimes our patience is ill-defined. Sometimes our compassion is misplaced. And sometimes we don't have the judgment to identify that this is like muddy waters. This is like that smooth sand which will suck you in. Daldal hota hai na? People don't really, for some godforsaken reason, have the sanity to decide that which is an abusive relationship, which is a constructive relationship. And that's my parting thought. If you were able to decide which relationship you must have in life and which relationship you must not have in life, you have to ask yourself, how does the relationship treats you in that ecosystem? If the relationship does not offer you respect, does not motivate you to do well, does not inspire you to tap your potential, there is a problem. You know, जैसे एक boss होता है ना, and sometimes boss is supposed to be the most toxic relationship of your life, but that boss and employee template is a great lens to see how other relationships are. अगर एक रिश्ता आपको नहीं बना रहा है और साल दर साल तोड़ रहा है, whether it is a business relationship or a personal relationship, then it's a toxic relationship. टॉक्सिसिटी का असूल हमेशा से सेम रहा है, बहुत समय तक बदबू आएगी, उसके बाद दर्द होना शुरू होगा, फिर अपने ऊपर से विश्वास जाना शुरू होगा. ये 3 सिम्टम्स हैं. Call them the pain of pathological, psychological, emotional pain. The first is a clinical symptom of toxicity in a relationship, which is any kind of an abuse, disrespect, disbelief in your own character, in your own personality, not kind of a support, no emotional support. And then the final one is that your own self-esteem starts to go down. Now, let me park a thought here so that you remember this. You know, जब हम parent बनते हैं ना, that's the first time we actually explore our own relationship with ourselves, because उसकी cost सबसे पहले हमारा बच्चा पे करता है. So if you have temper issues, you realize that यार ये temper ना बच्चे को मर पाएगा. If you have issues relating to people, connecting to people, laughing, some people I've known that they've not had a laugh for a life, and then the bacha happens and then they're a different person, because you go through some sort of an alchemy जब आपकी जिंदगी में एक बच्चा आता है. And that's when development psychology teaches you something, and it stays with me, and I want to do that as a parting thought. is जब आप बच्चे को बोलते हैं ना कि तुमसे ये नहीं हो पाएगा, या तुम क्या कर रहे हो, तुमने क्यों गिराया, तो वो आपसे प्यार करना नहीं छोड़ता. आप बच्चे पे कितना भी चिल्ला दो, कितनी भी बुरी तरह ट्रीट कर दो, वो आपसे प्यार करना नहीं छोड़ता. अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो खुद से प्यार करना छोड़ता है. With adults, it's the same case in abusive relationships. When you are in the receiving end of a toxic, abusive, difficult relationship, personal or professional, you are addicted to giving. आपको लत है, आपको आदत लगी है उस रिलेशनशिप में इन्वेस्ट करना, क्योंकि वो एक प्री डिफाइंड पैटर्न है. तो आप सामने वाले से प्यार करना नहीं छोड़ते, उसका ध्यान रखना नहीं छोड़ते, कभी जिम्मेदारी के नाम पे, कभी ऑनर के नाम पे, कभी मोरालिटी के नाम पे, कभी एथिकलिटी के नाम पे. समटाइम्स वी डोंट गिव अप क्लाइंट्स बिकॉज वहां से पैसा बहुत आता है, वो इंपॉर्टेंट क्लाइंट है, बहुत बड़ा नाम है. बट इफ यू लुक एट द करंट सिस्टम, इट इज ऑल चेंजिंग. Abuse, toxicity, misuse, exploitation in any form of the game, it doesn't matter, is not tolerated. But we don't realize that professional or personal, when we don't draw that line, that this is not how you treat me, you stop loving yourself. So every time you do a business transaction where it's not a fair play, every time you do a business transaction where you think, yeah, I may dominate, you know, I gave up more than I could. He really gave authority. I gave in, I surrendered. मैं नहीं समझा पाया उसको और मेरे को मानना पड़ गया. Every time you go through a feeling, a part of you stops loving yourself. A part of you stops respecting yourself. And you know, and this is like a water under the bed. It will eat the entire wooden articraft of the bed. And आपको धीरे धीरे समझ में आता है कि यार मेरी negotiation power चली गई है. I can't be assertive. People can push me and sidebar me into an agreement. It seems that the world finds it very easy to deal with me. And फिर ego आती है, फिर aggression आता है, फिर हम aggression से situation को manage करने की कोशिश करते हैं. The point I'm trying to make is, before you get pushed, you get bullied, you get misused, and those are very horrible feelings to carry. Living with the fact that the world abuses me, the world has misused me, the world sometimes takes me for granted, is a shitty space to be psychologically. If it has happened to you, it has happened because you've not stopped investing in people, and there is no merit to that. उसके लिए आप अपने आप को ना पीठ पे शाबाशी दें. It was a wrong judgment call, गलत stop था, नीचे जा रहा था, फिर भी invest किया, loss तो होना ही था. There wasn't any dividend return in that relationship. But unfortunately, you paid costs because you stopped loving yourself. So now, let me close the talk and I open this forum for questions, thoughts, suggestions. That if ask yourself, like a mobile needs a charge in the battery, have you been charging your batteries? Which means, have you been charging your relationships? And this is most important for personal relationships and professional relationships. Second, you need to identify and ask yourself, what is the relationship you have with your own self? Paper पे एक बार आप 4 लाइनें लिख के देखना, that if you are a different person and you need to evaluate the relationship with yourself, what is the relationship you have with your own self? बहुत अलग अलग तरह की आवाजें आएंगी, ओवर क्रिटिकल, ओवर पेरेंटिंग, बहुत बुरा, सेल्फ डाउट, सेल्फ एस्टीम, हाई सेल्फ वर्थ. Just accept what comes. And the third piece is that, please, in your own current circumstances, situations, distinguish toxicity, abuse, exploitative relationships, specifically in business. At this point of a time, you'll realize that there's a lot of toxicity in the business environment. And that toxicity needs to be differentiated. You need to take a stand, whether it is personal or private. I'm going to take a stop there, take a pause there. Happy to have questions. And yeah, so this is what I had to talk about from the point of view of psychology of relationships. Thoughts?
So thank you, Ankit. Ankit sir, amazing session. You talked about a lot of a lot of stuff, and yeah, it for me, I can definitely say it helped me relate to a lot of things about how you shared that. Yes, of course, I remember the bullies from my school life, and of course you don't forget those experiences, and I could totally relate to whatever you said. So thanks. One more thing, I'll say the last. So I've been in Canada for last three and a half years. So one thing I tell this to everyone. One thing I've really realized is, yes, relationships is probably the most underrated thing. We especially for Indians or Asians, we don't value it when we are growing up. How we are raised is put your head down. Believe in meritocracy, and you will get your results. Whatever you want to achieve, you will achieve. Just put your head down. But nobody tells us, or teaches us the importance of relationship, how to cultivate them, not only for your professional growth, but also for your personal lives as well. So I'm still learning. And one more thing I've realized over here is, working for a Canadian bank. I work with a Canadian bank. The senior executive leadership, or my manager's manager, I don't think they are the most intelligent people, or they don't have the most maybe not the most meritocratic persons, but the ability with which they bring people together, that is so amazing. I mean, that is what future leaders, I think, the most essential skill that they will require.
Precisely. Yeah.
Thank you for the session. So I'll open it up for the questions. So anybody, if you have any questions or suggestions, or anything you would like to share with Ankit sir, please please feel free for that.
Can I go first?
Yeah, sure.
Hi Ankit ji.
Hi Navneet.
आपसे बात होती रही, और थैंक यू फॉर योर टाइम. आपने बहुत पहले भी मेरे को बहुत टाइम दिया. मतलब we had a long talks. I think.
I remember. I hope all well with family.
Yeah, going on. But still we tried, so that's okay.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I'm speechless. I have many many thoughts going in my mind, but I'm not able to figure it out on the words that आपने बहुत प्रैक्टिकल बातें कही, और समझ नहीं आ रहा कि क्या क्वेश्चन किस फॉर्म में होना चाहिए. बट
आप चाय पिला दो कहीं पे भी, मैं सारे सवालों को जवाब दे दूंगा. मैं चाय पे कुछ भी करता हूँ.
No, please carry on. मतलब I just wanted to say hi, and
Absolutely. आपके पास मेरा नंबर है, कभी you can call.
Sure.
Questions, whatever you want to ask. Of course, you know that I'm there.
Yes, I do that. Thank you very much.
Hello. Ankit ji.
Hi.
Hi, this is Arun, and
Hey.
a wonderful talk. As Navneet ji said, like most of the points and things you have, touch base is very much relevant to most of us, day-to-day lifestyle and everything. So there are a few personal questions from, I want to talk to you. Of course, a lot of audience, but it's okay. When I have two kids, my daughter, she's the oldest one, and son, he's the second one. And son is right now, he's in a 12th grade, okay? And I'm a person who likes to have a very open relationship and more communication with my kids and everything. So I feel I have very strong bonding with them and very good relationship with them. But when it comes to my son, I feel sometimes, he is very emotional. He loves me. I love him. And, but sometimes I feel like, you know, he's maintaining all good studies, all A's and everything, but somewhere he's not, uh, sh- coming to my expectations in terms of, the quality, leadership quality, or like, to be bold. And he's a conservative nature. Like sometimes he says, I have anxiety issues. For example, like uh, he's taking very hard classes or something. So I said, don't take load. If you want to do something, do it. It's not the end of the world. I try to, because I also like, uh, observing people. I like to see how world is working. It doesn't matter, like you might have been excellent A grade students, but in life it's more a public relationship. How you deal with other people would make big impact in life, rather than your transcript shows that you have been always A students. So I keep communicating, working, but sometimes for me, my kids are biggest asset for me. Like I want to make sure I'm sitting here, so if they make a better life, then it is worth for me to be in United States. Otherwise, I was doing very good back home in India as well. And so that is one point which I feel. And then day before yesterday, he wrote me that okay, I think I have some anxiety, concern, and issues. Teenagers sometimes he has a lot of people because of his social media, a lot of things. And initially, he had an interest of doing TikTok videos and all those kind of things. There are a couple of things which is bothering me. So I'm thinking to that sometimes being Indian, we have a taboo of in showing our children to any psychiatrist, or like to be concerned with those kind of things, which I don't mind. I said, if that is the case, why don't we talk to the doctor? What are your issues? And first I try to understand, tell me. But sometimes he tells me, sometimes he just say, okay, you don't understand. I said, no, not like that. I do understand. And I've gone through the same situation when I was in my high school and all those things. Tell me what is going on. I don't know, like how to deal with that kind of situation. Like, as it's very difficult to, express all those thoughts which is coming in my mind, which I would like to get connected with you maybe some other time, personally. But
Absolutely.
it's just openly. I'm sure many of you guys may have, kids, and as you will come across those challenges, that relationship is very, very unique, father and son relationship.
Yeah.
So what is your take on that, and what would you recommend me? Yeah, how should I deal with that? I want his well-being. That's all. To be a good human being, and I don't care what he does in education. I just want him to be a healthy and good human being and carries good values. That's all my priorities for it.
Thank you. Thank you for opening up, and thank you for sharing. Yes, it does deserve a deeper chat. We need to have a conversation, and you can pass on the number, and of course you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and we can connect there. We can have a call. But here are my thoughts. Uh, what I hear from you first, I'd like to validate my understanding. First is that you have a certain expectation, vision for him basis your understanding of the world. And in that, one of the expectations is that he needs to open up. Maybe he's more conservative, he's more reserved, he's more introvert. Did I get that part right?
Yes, he's not introvert and conservative with me, but outer world.
Of course.
And it comes to, yes.
He's not very social, communicative,
no, he has many friends. Like he has a lot of girlfriends. Like girlfriend means like a lot of girls follows him and a lot of boys follows him. So he's a very charming guy. So that's not a problem. But I feel like he could do, much better. You know, I don't know, like it's very challenging, but I feel like sometimes nowadays, as he growing, 2, 3 years back, he was different. He's a soccer player. He plays for travel team. He goes to different places and he's a good player also. But like when it comes to school, and I see like some other high schools, kids follows him and all these social media, many things and, modeling things, a lot of things coming in mind. That is teenager things. But I feel like he has a little bit shy nature when it comes to the people.
Sorry, say the last part again.
He has a little bit shyness when he come,
Okay, so let me bring a few perspectives here. See, and his age must be around 13, 14, 17.
He's 17 years old.
Yeah. Okay. So see, it's a very typical 17-year-old, call it symptom, syndrome, or a template. Okay. There is hormones which are jumping inside the body up and down. Okay. There is identity crisis which kids are going through. They don't know who they are, but they're also questioning and falling for that existential crisis that why am I here? What am I supposed to do? There's a rebel which is cooking inside. Sometimes you will find him that why is he becoming so rebellious? It's a very normal symptom in young adults, and it's a new term which we try and use it as. Okay, what you can do and what you must do. Here is my thought. Some might be controversial, but I'm going to ask you to think about them. See, sometimes though, we over obsess with our expectations we have from our people. That might be happening. Sometimes we get so panicky about our non-negotiable that, I want my kids to shape up a certain way because I think that works, because that's my basis personal experience. You have to ask, is that so heavy that it's compromising, or it might be compromising on this individuality? Every child, like a personality, has an individuality. And 16 to 17 is the age when parents need to ask that I don't need to see him through an eye of a parent. I don't need to see him how I want him to be. First, I need to see him how he is and how he thinks about himself. And that's a very tough question. It's psychologically a very tough question, that how do you detach your own viewpoint from your son's viewpoint? So my homework to you to starting point will be that get into the mind of your own son and first ask yourself, how is he thinking about his own self? Some of his anxieties could be also coming from the shyness. Some of these issues also coming from that he's socially not there. It could also be because sometimes kids they grow up in the last 2 to 3 years, their limbs look different, they sound very different, they have pimples on their faces, and their social self starts to evolve. Sometimes it also could be a sense of validation which he's not getting from the world around. You will have to study his environment. Is there, maybe the soccer was the validation which he's not getting right now, and the sense of identity is at a threat, that how am I known to people? There could be many possibilities. Okay. So environmental scanning of what has changed in the last few years, number one. Number two, try and keep a check on how much of an expectation pressure is he into to comply with your expectations. And that expectation could be as simple as that, go out, meet people. When we meet families, talk more. Why are you so silent? Why do you keep sitting quiet in the corner? Which means that it's not by choice he's being shy. It is a coping mechanism to something. And always keep that in mind. The shyness is not the problem. The shyness is a symptom. And I'm not referring to a severe disorder or a condition. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But if you look at shyness as the effect, not as the cause, and you say that uska shyness is a coping mechanism. Now our question is, what is he coping with? What exactly is he coping with? We don't know that. That's a black box in an aircraft. And that's where we have to get to know that what is he coping with? Why is he turning inwards? What is he trying to do? And if he is, for all good reasons, because his personality is trying to find solace in some quietness, we need to be aware of that. Your overall worry, and sometimes we need to be focused, is the value system in place? Is the morality in place? Is the character in place? Everything else is secondary. How he communicates to the entire world is his choice. Tomorrow he can become a transsexual, bisexual, gay, lesbian. You will not have a control on that. Tomorrow he might be an introvert, might get into coding, lock himself into a room, play heavy metal, listen to heavy metal, look at Game of Thrones. You will have no element of choice into that. But you would have invested in the character. And at some point of a time, if you think that, I think character value wise is sorted. He treats people well, he treats himself well, he has respect, he displays certain great characteristics, just the way we perform in organizations. Sit back, relax, you've done your job. Okay. Whatever had to happen, and it's a more path-breaking view, but we must align to this. Parents only have control till 7, 8 years of age. Okay. Whatever happens till 7 or 8 years of age is in our control, is like an investment. For the rest part of your life, you'll realize that you are only struggling for control in any relationship. But we don't know how to let go. We don't know how to let go of our expectations. We have a checklist in the mind. Even the most liberal parents will have a checklist in the mind, and unconsciously they are driven by checklists. So the moment the child does something which is not part of the checklist, there is panic, there is stress, and there is some form of anxiety that, oh, this guy is becoming something else and must control. The more you control, the more rebel increases. And by doing that, we realize that we've done that for 2 years and we have strain on the relationship. The guy doesn't open up, the guy doesn't share, because we've told him so much to be something else. And he's now trying to fight this battle that between who I want to be, who I am, and who I need to be because of my parents, there's the conflict. All of this might not be happening to him, but all of this you need to think through, that unfortunately or unintentionally or unconsciously, have we created a clash in his head between who he is, who he wants to be, and who we want him to be? Okay, I'm going to pause there. Anxiety is a symptom, shyness is a symptom. I will be very happy to have a detailed chat, ask you some questions, observe the environment around, get to a more conclusive hypothesis. But that's just a takeoff point for you to think.
Thank you so much. I'd like to get connected with you apart from this session. So I'll send you a message, or I'll get your number from Jaspreet, and I'll get connected with you. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, Arun sir, for the such a personal question. Ankit ji, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the chat, but I think you have got a very great testimonial. You can use it on your LinkedIn.
I'm going to see the chat now.
While I was delivering the sessions.
Great topic.
Yeah, I don't think you can get a better. Yeah, I don't think you can get a better testimonial than that.
I'm hoping that was for me. That wasn't for bank. I'll take the credit happily otherwise. But thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Happy to take it up.
Yeah, Sanjeev ji, please go ahead.
I will say.
So my question is,
go ahead.
Okay. My question is that in this world where we are talking about givers and takers, my experience is that in every relationship or business or anywhere, the givers are less and takers are more. So what is the best way to motivate yourself so that we always try to give more than taking? And my as you already told that the bad memories, we always, जैसे आप किसी के साथ कुछ बुरा होता है वो बहुत याद रखता है उसको, but आप कुछ अच्छा करते हो तो वो बहुत ज्यादा याद नहीं रखा जाता है. So how to motivate yourself?
Good question.
So that you don't get disappointed again and again.
But Bono, excellent question, sir. But it's such a heavy, profound question that it's almost like summarizing Bhagavad Gita in simpler words. But I'll try my honest attempt. See, the give and take balance, no, is where the judgment is. It's like a neurosurgeon's job. If you're a neurosurgeon, you'll understand this, that they have these moral dilemmas, when to operate on the brain and when not to. And they have very strict medical guidelines. E1, M1, they can't operate. You have to display E2, M2, E3, M3, E4, M4. They have to. They're medical guidelines. And then there is a gray area that we can do the surgery, but हमको पता नहीं है कि patient का होगा क्या. वो आप देख लो. Paralysis भी हो सकता है, speech issue भी हो सकता है, full recovery नहीं हो सकती, ये हम बता सकते हैं. Okay, that's a judgment. Give and take is also like that. Some years after investing, you have to do a judgment. कि यार ये हो क्या रहा है? Am I getting sucked out of it? Am I being taken granted? And more often than not, Sanjeev ji, the problem with givers is scientifically or psychologically called as the Masiha complex. That हमको godmother बनना है, हमको godfather बनना है, हमको मसीहा बनना है. So हमको देने की आदत इसलिए पड़ जाती है क्योंकि हमको अपनी नजर में उठना है. And that's a lut. That's lut, which is worse than alcohol. So number one is that you ask yourself, why are you giving? Do you want to be that Masiha? Do you want to be that rescuer? Do you want to be that savior? Then you are caught in a trap. Because कोई भी रोते बिलखते और मुसीबत में आएगा, आपका दिल बिलकेगा और आपको महान बनने की जोश चढ़ेगा, आप देंगे. फिर 4 साल बाद, 5 साल बाद, 10 साल बाद, you will have a problem that यार this is really toxic. वो आके मांगता रहता है, कुछ देता नहीं है. I tell people that you have a problem, not the person. The taker will never have a problem because उसको तो मिल रहा है, and you've never told him that you've been taken for granted. So number one, people need to evaluate that why are they giving? What is the root of giving? Okay. Second, sometimes practice unconditional giving. That किया भूल गए. आप ये करके देखना नहीं कर पाओगे because the mind is a silly machine. You will not be able to see it. It has to have a transaction. We don't, बिना किसी चीज से कुछ सींचे एक्सट्रैक्ट किए हमको देना ही नहीं आता है. वो पैसा हो सकता है, चैरिटी हो सकता है, ज्ञान हो सकता है, एडवाइस हो सकती है, कप ऑफ कॉफी हो सकता है. We are obsessed with extraction something out of it. But the moment you practice unconditional giving, इसे ये यहाँ पे खत्म हुआ, इसका book of account यहाँ पे खत्म हुआ. You realize that the other person invests in you more than you expected. It is a very delicate, complex balance and giver or taker. Few rules: you can't have toxicity, so you identify कि इसको और नहीं दे सकता. If a mutual fund is not making money for you, it is not making money for you. आप उसमें पैसा नहीं डालते रहेंगे. It is similarly with relationships. But at the same point of time, you're not investing in a relationship because you want to extract something out of it. That balance needs to be maintained. Last question आपको मुझे सबसे अच्छा लगा, how do we motivate ourselves? मैं आपको इसका जवाब उल्टा देता हूं. आप एक काम करो, आप बिल्कुल देना बंद कर दो. आप किसी को मत दो. 6 महीने लगेंगे बॉडी को डिप्रेस होने में, 6 महीने लगेंगे उदासी को आने में. आपकी बायोकेमिस्ट्री बॉडी की चेंज होगी, स्ट्रेस हार्मोन बढ़ेगा, कोर्टिसोल बढ़ेगा और आप ऑटोमेटिकली देना शुरू कर दोगे. The fact is that the body is built to offer. That is how we survive. When you give, endorphins in the body increase, oxytocin in the body increase, serotonin in the body increase. अब वो gratitude हो सकता है, वो माफी हो सकती है, वो information हो सकता है, वो पैसा हो सकता है, वो phone call हो सकता है, वो मदद हो सकती है, वो चाय का कप हो सकता है, वो पानी हो सकता है. ठीक है? You know, man, my grandfather was a poet in Urdu, and तो मेरा बचपन गालिब सुनते और शायरी सुनते थोड़ा सा हुआ है. तो वो हमको बोलते थे कि शुक्र कर, हाली शुक्र कर, वो खा रहा है अपना खाना तेरे दस्तरखान पर. So basically it translates into, for the uninitiated, it means that it's destined. He said that if you have to give, it's destined. You can only decide how much you give, how you give, with the intent you give. The fact of the matter is that the system is built and the body is built in a fashion that if you give, you're bound to feel nice. But your obsession to feeling nice is a problem. So motivation or demotivation is a secondary question. मैं लोगों को बोलता हूँ तुम मत दो, क्लोज करके बैठ जाओ, पैसा दबा के बैठ जाओ, इन्फॉर्मेशन दबा के बैठ जाओ, मदद दबा के बैठ जाओ. 6 महीने में एंजाइटी आ जाएगी, स्ट्रेस आ जाएगा. You will have issues with depression because you don't get social validation. So existence of an individual and fulfillment और किसी भी प्रकार की खुशी इज डिपेंडेंट अपॉन गिविंग. सो उससे प्रॉब्लम नहीं, प्रॉब्लम इज एक्सपेक्टेशन.
हेलो, थोड़ा सा मैं बीच में इंटरव्यू कर रहा हूँ, सॉरी. शायद मैं सवाल सही से समझा नहीं पाया हूँ, दोबारा से मैं थोड़ा सा उसमें ऐड ऑन करता हूँ. यू सी के इट्स नॉट अबाउट मनी और बिजनेस और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट. बड़े कंफर्टेबली मैंने आपकी बात एक में मतलब बहुत अच्छी लगी मुझे इसमें, और बहुत अच्छे से मैंने मतलब अपने बिजनेस में लोगों को आई हैव ट्राई टू मेक पीपल नॉट मनी एंड इट वर्क्स वंडर्स. मतलब बहुत जल्दी मैं कनेक्ट कर लेता हूँ किसी से भी और विश्वास जीत जाता हूँ उसका बहुत जल्दी से, और उसका कार्य ये होता है सरलता से, सीधे से, सच्चाई से जाते हैं हम. माई पॉइंट वाज कि जो हमारा ओवरऑल ये दुनिया में अभी वातावरण है, मैं दोबारा से उसको लाता हूँ. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द रिलेशनशिप आल्सो, नॉट मॉनेटरी. तो गिवर्स आर लेस एंड टेकर्स आर मोर. अगेन आई एम देयर. ठीक है जी. तो एक यानी हम ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि जो लोग कैरी फॉरवर्ड करते हैं, जैसे आप अभी बैठे हुए हैं, आप हमको कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर रहे हैं ना, तो इस तरह के लोग कम हैं. दैट्स माय पॉइंट.
गॉट इट.
उसके बीच में कभी कभी डेफिनेटली अनकंडीशनली आप करते हो और बहुत अच्छा लगता है आपको. इट्स नॉट अबाउट ओनली मनी, इन रिलेशनशिप आल्सो. आपने किसी को सड़क पार करा दिया, ही वाज नॉट एबल, आपको अपने आप में बहुत अच्छा लगता है खुद के बारे में. सो इट्स नॉट अबाउट मसीहा. जस्ट वांट टू, शायद मैं समझा नहीं पा रहा हूँ कि जो वातावरण है इसके अंदर कभी कभी हम भी डिमोटिवेट होते हैं. तो मेरा भी वही सवाल है कि खुद को कैसे आप मोटिवेट, कोई क्या ऐसा कोई एक बंधा हुआ कोई आप मुझे कोट या कोई एक वो दे सकते हैं क्या?
देखो, ये जो आपने बहुत अच्छी अभी बीच में आपने बोला ना, दैट हमको ऐसा लगता है कि दुनिया में टेकर ज्यादा है, गिवर ज्यादा है. ये ब्रह्मांडिक रियलिटी नहीं है, ये आंख के ऊपर लगा चश्मा जैसा है. इट्स अ व्यू पॉइंट.
नहीं सर, व्हाट आई एम एक्सपीरियंस आई एम टेलिंग यू. व्हाट आई एम एक्सपीरियंस आई एम टेलिंग यू.
No, got it. It's an individual experience. आप मेरे से पूछे ना तो मेरा व्यू पॉइंट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड बिल्कुल अलग है. मुझे तो लगता है कि दुनिया में देने के लिए लोग बैठे हैं, आपको भरोसा जीतने की देरी है. When I started charity in the year 2016, मेरा पूरा प्लान था कि मैं अपना ही पैसा लगाऊंगा. 6 साल हो गए मुझे अपना पैसा लगाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी, बिकॉज आई रियलाइज दैट लोग चाहते हैं भरोसे के साथ काम करना. They want to give money. And I still understand that it's not the monetary transaction that you're talking about, but question the belief which you have that जब हम खुद को ये बोलते हैं ना कि दुनिया में टेकर ज्यादा है, in all respect and humility, I will disagree. मैं बोलूंगा कि वो एक बहुत इंडिविजुअल पर्सपेक्टिव है, चश्मे की तरह है. ये चश्मा लगा के मैंने देखा तो मुझे टेकर्स दिखे, चश्मा उतार के देखा तो मुझे गिवर्स दिखे. When I examine my worldview, and sometimes worldview is like 5 blind men trying to touch an elephant from 5 different sides. अब आपके हाथ में हाथी की सूंड आई तो आपने सूंड एक्सप्लेन करी. मेरे हाथ में हाथी का पेट आया, which is big, विशाल, massive, तो मैंने उसको एक्सप्लेन किया. So sometimes it's a belief system which is based upon individual experiences, number one. दूसरा, and ये बात हो सकता है चुभे, लेकिन मैं फिर भी बोलूंगा, देखो ये viewpoint is coming from मैं देता हूं, दूसरा नहीं देता. This viewpoint is rooted in the superiority where we've kept ourselves at a pedestal, and it might be unconscious, which is why I said इस बारे में आप सोचिएगा कि हम कौन होते हैं इतने बड़े वर्ल्ड को जज करने वाले, that they don't give. Our job is to give. Yes, our job is to keep a check on the expectation, and these are the only 2 things which are in our control. Everything else is out of control, and the more you go into the area which is out of control, you fall for anxiety. But that's my viewpoint.
Okay, I think I have got
I think Amit ji कुछ बोलने लगे थे, उन्होंने he had raised hand. हाँ जी, बोलिए अमित जी.
जी, हाय, गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल. मैं ये कहना चाह रहा था कि जैसे संजीव जी कह रहे हैं कि गिवर्स कम हैं और टेकर्स ज्यादा हैं, और उसी चीज से मैं एक चीज रिलेट कर रहा था कि अपनी लाइफ में मैं ऐसा करता रहता हूँ कि हमें लगता है कि दुनिया में बहुत मतलब जो खराब लोग ज्यादा हैगे और अच्छे लोगों की बहुत कमी हैगी. लेकिन एक छोटा सा अगर आप लोग एग्जांपल देखो कि अगर हम लोग रोड पे जा रहे हैं और ट्रैफिक स्टक हो रहेगा, ज्यादातर लोग क्या करते हैं कि वहां पे गाड़ी अड़ा करके और खड़े हो जाते हैं, मुंह उधर कर लेते हैं वो लोग. ठीक है जी, हमारे को निकलना है इस तरह से, लेकिन हम कोशिश करें अगर हम थोड़ा सा पहले रुक जाएं और दूसरे को हम रास्ता दे दें, तो वहां से सैल्यूट करते हैं, हल्की सी स्माइल उसको करते हैं, तो वो देता हुआ जो है वो उनको भी अच्छा लगेगा और हमें भी अच्छा लगेगा, साथ में 4 लोग और देख रहे हैं, शायद उनके ऊपर भी कुछ फर्क पड़े। तो जो हम कोशिश कर सकते हैं कि थोड़ा सा अपनी तरफ से जो एफर्ट हैगा वो अगर हम कर दें तो दुनिया अच्छी भी दिखने लग जाएगी। और अगर वो आज वो हमसे एक्सपीरियंस वो लेकर के जा रहेगा तो शायद वो कभी ना कभी ऐसा दूसरे के साथ भी करते। तो स्टार्टिंग जो होनी है वो हम लोगों से खुद से होनी है कि हम लोग उस चीज की कोशिश करें। मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ।
Fantastic, Mr. Kurana. That's what I said. Individual action and individual responsibility is what defines.
Yeah, it all starts with us only.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Nisha ji, I think you also wanted to, share something or ask a question. Please go ahead.
I just wanted to share one thing. You had mentioned one thing कि जब आप बच्चे के साथ कुछ चीज करते हैं, मतलब आप उसे डांटते हैं या कुछ भी करते हैं, तो वो आपको प्यार करना बंद नहीं करता, बट वो अपने आप को प्यार करना बंद कर देता है. I think this is something which I'm going to take to my grave, like till I die, and this is a very big thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. पर इसका मतलब मैं आपको एक और चीज बताऊं, इसका मतलब मेरी 4 साल की बेटी है और जितनी साइकोलॉजी मैंने पढ़ी, मैंने पिछले 4 साल में सब इस्तेमाल करके देखी है अपने ऊपर, उसके ऊपर. इसका मतलब ये भी नहीं है कि हम सिर्फ प्यार दें. डांटना हमको सीखना पड़ेगा. डांटना एक स्किल है जिसमें हमको पहले अपने एंगर से डिटैच होना है और उसके बाद डांटना है. जब आप डांटते हैं ना, गुस्से में आप चिढ़ निकालते हैं, लेकिन जब आप डांटते हैं ना अपने इमोशन को कंट्रोल रख के, तो आप अथॉरिटी दिखा के बच्चे की जिंदगी को गवर्न करते हैं. अगर बच्चे की जिंदगी में अथॉरिटी नहीं है और सिर्फ प्यार है, तो वो बड़ा हो गया सीखता है कि मैं जो करता हूँ सही है. वैसे आम ब्रह्मास्मि होता है ना, दैट आई एम द सेंटर ऑफ द यूनिवर्स, दुनिया मेरे आसपास, वो भी गलत है. वो नार्सिज्म और सेल्फ लव को पैदा करता है. तो मैं अपने आप को भी ये बोलता हूँ कि हमको एक्चुअली डांटना आता नहीं. हम लोग अनकॉन्शियसली अपनी चिढ़ निकाल देते हैं, गुस्सा निकाल देते हैं, और वो बच्चों के लिए ठीक नहीं है, वो एक्चुअली किसी रिश्ते के लिए ठीक नहीं है. बट ये मैं ऐड करना चाहता हूँ.
Thank you so much. I think this is the very big difference which actually is needed, and while actually portraying any set of behavior, I will always keep this particular thing in my mind. And it was such a wonderful session wherein you also touched the personal front, which is very much important. Even in profession, you're meeting people personally, you're working on a personal front, you're not working on to just very professionally. Absolutely. The moment you start working personally, wonders happen. And you've really beautifully, connected it from personal things to professional stuff. So thank you so much. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisha. Thank you. God bless.
Okay. Thank you. So I think.
एक हाथ में और देख सकता हूँ प्रोजेक्ट गुरुकुल. I think she has something.
Yeah. So we are ahead of past 15 minutes past the scheduled time, but ठीक है. I think if you want to take one more question.
Thank you, Ankit ji. पहले तो आपने it was the whole meeting was गागर में सागर. बहुत थोड़ी सी चीजों में आपने बहुत कुछ हमें बता दिया और सिखा दिया. तो वो पर्सनल या प्रोफेशनल नहीं, मैं होल लाइफ को समझती हूँ कि आपने पूरी लाइफ को बहुत थोड़े में सबको समझा दिया. आपको पर्सनल फ्रंट पे अगर आपको अच्छा कुछ करना है तो भी आप कर सकते हैं, और प्रोफेशनल फ्रंट पे करते हैं तो आप उसी रूल को लेके अगर प्रोफेशनल फ्रंट पे जाते हैं तो आप और भी अच्छा कर सकते हैं. तो ये आपने समझाया. थैंक यू सो मच. एंड जैसे आपने कहा कि आपको रिन्यू करना पड़ता है, रिचार्ज करना पड़ता है, तो प्रोजेक्ट गुरुकुल में हम इंडियन कल्चर को प्रमोट करते हैं. तो मैं हमेशा से मानती हूँ कि हमारे इंडियन कल्चर में थोड़े थोड़े टाइम के बाद फेस्टिवल्स, गेट टुगेदर्स, कुछ ना कुछ रहता है. दैट इज जस्ट अ रिचार्जिंग. आप एक रेगुलर रूटीन पैटर्न से निकल के एक नई चीज में आ जाते हैं. जैसे अब कल ही करवा चौथ है, या उसके बाद कोई और फेस्टिवल है, फिर दिवाली आ रही है. तो जब आप सबसे मिलते हैं तो आप अपने एक बॉक्स में बंद है, एक ही जगह पे आप सोच रहे हैं, तो उससे निकल के अपने आप ही खुशी आती है. अगर आप पूजा करते हैं तो और भी आपको अच्छी फीलिंग्स आती हैं. तो जो अगर आप नेगेटिविटी में है तो ऑटोमेटिकली आप पॉजिटिविटी में चले जाते हैं. तो थैंक यू सो मच. आपने फिर से इतना कुछ हमें बताया और रिन्यू कर दिया सबको.
थैंक यू. मैं ये बोल रहा था कि मेरा खुद का इंटरेस्ट इंडियन कल्चर में, स्पेसिफिकली माइथोलॉजी में बहुत है, बिकॉज मुझे लगता है कि माइथोलॉजी इज अ मिसअंडरस्टूड साइंस और इज एटलीस्ट अ मिसअंडरस्टूड स्पेस. So at any point of a time you need anything, मैं लोगों को जाके बताता हूँ that हमारे rituals जो पूजा पाठ होता है उनके पीछे scientific reason क्या है, how they represent, how astrology is actually a science. So sometimes we should work together, do something together. मुझे बहुत मजा आएगा बात करने में. और मैं लोगों को बोलता हूँ कि आप, हमारा culture is a very scientific culture. And most people don't understand the causality between that. So हमको बात करनी चाहिए detail में और ये देखेंगे कुछ कर पाए साथ में.
Okay. So thank you, Ankit sir, once again. So just, towards the end, if you can also share about your latest book, that would be great. We would love to know more about, what is it about? What is the topic of the book?
ये तो मेरा फेवरेट टॉपिक है. तो कभी भी 2 बजे भी बोलेगा, मैं रात को किताब के बारे में बात कर दूंगा. This is how the book looks. Chasing Fireflies is the name, and I had written this book when the story had come to me when COVID had started, and while I would not want to disclose the entire story, but it's a very it's a psychologically evolved love story. It's not just a love story, and everything which I've spoken about and the reason we wanted to talk about psychology of relationship. ये story है एक 65 साल के आदमी और एक 64 साल की lady के बारे में, how they fall in love together. But of course there is element of emotional maturity. The story is also about, my question was that when we grow up and when we become 60, 65 and about to die, how does love look like? Why do we forget relationships? While we want to do responsibilities, while we want to pick the burden of families, but one of the things which cries in a lonely corner in a room is a relationship, and sometimes a lot of things are attached to that. So this book is about that, and it doesn't matter what's your age. It's supposed to be read by people who are single, want to get into a relationship, who are multiple affairs, who want to have single affair, or who are married. It doesn't matter how many times, or one time you're divorced. It doesn't matter. I put everyone in the same bucket. It's a psychological evolved story of how a relationship can be saved. So this book is about that, and thankfully Jaspreet's ordered books for all of you. I'm assuming. Yeah. So inshallah आप लोगों को किताबें मिल जाएंगी. अमित के पास already आ चुकी हैं. So yeah, just send me a message, Instagram, when you read the book, and yeah, I hope you guys like it. जो इस ऑफिस में बैठे हैं उनको तो मैं आज ही दे दूंगा. बाकी अगर अरुण टिकट भेजने तो मैं यूएस आके बांट दूंगा.
Is it not on Amazon? Or
it is on Amazon. It is on all global platforms. You can download a Kindle version. It's available everywhere. It's in US, UK, Australia. It's everywhere actually. Globally, it's available now.
I would definitely buy that one. Thank you and congratulations.
It has also an element of parenting towards the end, but that's a surprise which I didn't speak about. But only for you. You must you'll like it because you'll realize that you can relate to it.
Definitely, I would love to read that. And the parenting part, as you said, like until age of 7 years, 8 years, whatever values you have given, those always stays with the kids. Afterwards, they start making their own way.
Yeah,
so I think in that, me and my wife have done a good job, to raise our children, and they have all those values, what you were mentioning. So that part, I'm very much rest assured. But only thing is certain, things which I just want to make sure he doesn't, lose his, identity in this social media world and all these things happening nowadays. Those are a little bit concerned, nothing else,
Yeah.
But he's a good boy.
And those are valid concerns, but yeah, sometimes we just have to ask ourselves, differentiate that what I can do versus what I can't. See, my parting thought to all of you is that if there's an earthquake and you're at a 22nd building, you know that ultimately you'll die, but you will still prefer running because the body is built to be so active. Body is built to act, that we don't know how to be passive and do nothing. But sometimes doing nothing and watching and observing is all it needs and all it demands. But the premordial brain, and you will understand that, Arun, the amygdalas of the world will fire the fight and flight response. So if you're an earthquake, you'd have to die, but you would still want to escape somehow. So that restlessness needs to be controlled, and then you think through that what is the desired action. So that's my parting thought to all of you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Okay, guys. Yeah, Anuj. Thank you so much, Anuj, for. Yeah, please go ahead.
No, I was just passing it on to you. For me personally, it was an amazing session to, to learn from Ankit, and also thank all the bank members for sharing